this video is a word of advice to Sean Strickland. I know I don't have a big reach at all. I have like 20 to 40 views on each video. I have 26 subscribers, but I thought I'd give a word of advice to Sean Strickland. I was going to make this about an hour ago, but my dog decided to fight a red belly. She's fine. She won. She didn't get bitten. We don't think she's good. So I wanted to just, go over some things. I got all this here. And we're just going to start off with this. So I thought, we'd get into the whole situation with Drickus, and everything else. Some controversy and whatnot. And just give him some advice on what he should do. My Snapchat is going mental. I'm going to mute my phone. And we'll just start off with it. It says 230 pounds of power, first pig cook done. The moment the Dutchman gives me a date, the diet will start. Until then, light the fire and bring the meat. Now, this is what Sean Strickland's aim is. He's beaten Paulo Costa and he's just going to sit out and wait for the Drickus fight. Now, as we know, Dana White, he said that he would do that. If you want to have a listen to that, we will. Halfway through because I was testing if the audio worked.
Does Sean Strickland get the winner of that fight?
Listen, Sean Strickland right now is the #1 ranked middleweight in the world, and the answer is yes.
Does Sean Strickland?
Right, so we've heard that from Dana, but we know Dana lies about these things. He said the same thing about Bilal last year. He said the same thing about a lot of people. He always says these sort of things. And also, I'm just going to go over, why he probably won't give him the title shot. Let's be real. Sean Strickland is a PR nightmare. They don't want Sean Strickland anywhere near the belt. And this is why I think that Sean Strickland sitting out is not a good idea, because they don't want him near the belt. He is the superstar. However, he's a PR nightmare. And we're going to go over some videos. You probably know what they are. But, he's a PR nightmare. He's saying shit like we should, take women out of the workforce, get them in the kitchen, all this. He's wearing shirts with, a woman in every kitchen, a gun in each hand. I'm not going to go over whether I agree with that or not, but obviously not particularly. I think it's funny, to be honest. I do think it's funny. But, we'll just play some of this. We'll hear some of the shit he's done and just figure out if the UFC actually does want him as a world champion, especially with Disney around now. And you know how they are.
So, forwarding to these fucking dirty Brazilians, it was nice, man. They have a good community. They fucking barbecue.
He's talking about how America are degenerates and whatnot and everything else. Just to add a bit of context.
Hang out, it was some good wholesome shit, man. Americans, we need to go back to taking women out of the workforce, and maybe that's where we fucked up, you guys. We let women vote. No offense, but let me I want to tell you guys something.
It's you know what I mean. It's full on.
Think about America prior to women voting. They try to ban alcohol. I don't even drink, but I'm not trying to ban alcohol. So what you did, man, you let these women come in the workforce. Now we make less money. You got kids raising themselves on fucking TikTok. We need to go back to 1942, especially after, maybe 1958 after we fucked up the Germans. We need to put women back in the kitchen. We need to take only one man needs to be working. So I think as a collective man group, we need to elect somebody that's going to put women back in the kitchen, put one man working, raise the wages, and build a fucking wall.
Have you ever thought?
This is the average shit Sean Strickland talks about at a media day or a press conference. This is you can see why the UFC doesn't typically want him as a champion or wouldn't want him as a champion. He's a PR nightmare when he's saying shit like this. Granted, kind of valid, but, we go to this one as well. It's the same video later on. You know what I mean? Just play this one.
But Dana did, honorable motherfucker. Dana seen it.
Add more context is about a dead fighter. You know this one. Everyone knows this one, but the context if you don't. He's talking about a dead female fighter and how everyone was posting her. And you hear what he says here.
It got posted to her, and Dana's like, I'm gonna do the right fucking thing. So I respect Dana for doing that. But then you have all these bandwagon fucking idiots, dude. They go and they look at this little white girl's Instagram. Meanwhile, let's set the stage. A Brazilian fighter got hit by a fucking bus and died. No one gave a fuck about that guy. When I read it, I was like, God damn, dude, if you can't dodge a bus, that's why you're not in the UFC. That was my first joke when I read that, and I stand by it. It's fucking hilarious. But the only reason why these fucking assholes...
Like, you know, once again, you see why they maybe don't want him near the title. Funny. I mean, the way I see it, maybe a bus is kind of faster than a punch, but we won't go into that. I mean, to be fair, you probably, if you are a fighter, you'd think you would have some sort of spatial awareness and know not to walk on the road. No, we're not getting into that. And we have this one here, which is probably my favourite. And you know, here, Disney owns the UFC. We know what they're like, pedos. You know what this one's about. We've all seen this one.
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, you know, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, you know, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there, asking these stupid fucking questions. Sorry,
You know, with Disney owning the UFC, you can see why they don't want that. I think it's probably the most valid thing he's ever said. I think that's based. We won't go into that. This is not the place for it. But you know, we hear that, so we can see why we typically don't really. Well, why the UFC wouldn't typically want it. We know Dana did say, "Oh, he's going to get a title shot." He said that about Bilal as well. He said that about a million other fighters. He lies. Dana lies. Who would have thought? But we go to this as well. This is a meme, but I couldn't find another video on it, so we're just going to use the meme. Shout out the Happy Punch. I don't know what you guys are doing, but
Duplessis, are you planning on keeping him on the sideline and waiting for?
I was playing the video. I remember you guys got angry at me for something because I said something about WMMA being shit, and you just cracked shits. But
Dricus Duplessis, are you planning on keeping him on the sideline and waiting for South Africa to kind of figure out, or are you going to try and fight him?
Who are you talking about? Dragus?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'd like to fight him in South Africa.
so we're not going to play the meme. I just wanted the video. Obviously, he mixes up his words and says he wants to fight Dricus in South Africa, but that pretty much says they're probably going to do Dricus in South Africa next. Which for Sean Strickland, unfortunately, sitting out's probably not the best option because that's probably not until next year. Like, I'm thinking about all the pay-per-views now. We're going to the Sphere. I was never said the Sphere on Sunday. Next week, I think we're in the Apex. Fuck me. I'm sick of these Apex events. They're so shit. And then trying to think, it's 306. There's none in the There's none in South Africa. November's Madison Square Garden. 307's is it Abu Dhabi? I think Abu Dhabi might be a fight night. But December, don't know where that's going to be. But it's all... There's no South Africa this year is my point. There's no South Africa. So him just sitting out probably isn't the best idea because he won't be fighting until next year probably. I don't know when next year, just until next year. And, you know, I think that's bad for for Strickland because if you look at his fights, I've got it up here, look at how active he's been. Like, look at him. We'll start, okay, before the after the motorbike accident because he was out for 2 years. October to November, that's a month apart. Actually, less than a month. That's 2 weeks apart there, actually. That is 2 weeks apart, that fight. May, and he comes back in May. Sometimes they do take layoffs. Then July, February, July, December, January, July, September, January, June. He's an active fighter, and I feel like with someone like Sean Strickland, activity is his best friend. The reason he is so good is because he's active. You know what I mean? I feel like because he's so active, that's why he's good, because of his timing and his understanding of the distance and whatever else, the range. I feel like that's what makes him good. I feel like if he's just sitting out like he says he is here, I feel like that's not a good look for him. I feel like he kind of needs to fight. I feel like his activity is pretty much everything, and that's I'm on the wrong one. His activity, I've just spoiled that. His activity is everything. I feel like he needs to be active in order to be a world-class fighter and potentially a world champion. And obviously, in the Drickus fight, I understand where he's coming from because it was a close fight. I thought he won. I thought Strickland won 3-2, maybe even 4-1. I think he did win that fight. However, it was close. I can see why people would give it a Drickus, but it's just kind of, you're in the spot where you don't have the belt now. I know you think you won. The whole world thinks you should have won. But Drickus is a champion now. You're not, you know what I mean? It's just how it is. And now you've got to work your way back up to the top. As shit as it is, you got to work your way back up to the top. You've won one fight since. You need to be active, I feel. I feel like you need to get some wins together. It's time to get wins together. Time to get that win streak. Time to go get it. And then let's get that title shot. Because the way I'm seeing it, Robert Whittaker over here, he's coming out there for heads, is what he's doing. Since he's lost to Drickus, he's beaten Paulo Costa and Ikram Elskerov. He's now going for Hamzat Chimaev. We're seeing a very active Whittaker now. We haven't really seen an active Whittaker for a while. Maybe even ever. Never this active, maybe. He's beaten Whittaker. He's on a 2-fight win streak. You've beaten Costa. I'll admit you beat Costa more convincingly than Whittaker. Whittaker nearly got knocked the fuck out in the first round. Shout out to my boy. You're awesome. It's just, he's on a 2-fight win streak. If he beats Hamzat, he's next in line, no doubt. If you're just going to sit out and wait for your title shot, which you should never do, you know what happens to fighters when they sit out. They never end up getting the title shot if they just sit there and wait. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So Whittaker's out here coming out there, 2-fight win streak. If he goes on a 3-fight win streak, there already is a case for Whittaker to get the next title shot. Instead of fighting Hamzat, he could have fought Drickus. But he's going out for Hamzat because he's a bad motherfucker and he's going to go beat the shit out of Hamzat. Hamzat's got nothing on Whittaker. He's going to go out there, beat Hamzat, and then he's got the title shot. Well, what have you done? Fought Paulo Costa since and sat out expecting a title shot. And I know it's not fair. It's not fair because a lot of people think you should have beat Drickus, but it's how it is. And now you're sitting out pretty much demanding a title shot. Remember a year ago, it wasn't about the belt. It wasn't about the belt. It was just about fighting, And now it's about the belt because you've got a taste of the belt. You're getting paid well. Now you're just sitting out. And you're kind of getting entitled, I'll be honest. You're acting a bit entitled, if I'm being honest. I know you're not going to see this, but you're acting a bit entitled about the title shot. You know what I mean? You need to go get some wins. You need to go collect a win streak. You're not every other fighter. You're not Dana's golden boy. You're not Izzy. You're not just gonna, and it's unfair. I know it's unfair, but you're not Izzy. You're not gonna lose and go get a title shot when you've lost your last fight. It's just not how it works. You're the type of guy that's gonna need to build a resume for himself, get the wins together, and then get the title shot because it's not. They don't want you there, Strickland. They don't want you at the top. They don't want you as a world champion. You're a nightmare. I've showed you why you're a nightmare PR-wise. I think it's based, but they don't like that. They don't like what you're saying, especially Disney with fucking this shit, even though that's the most valid thing you've ever said. You're not doing anything. Like, Whittaker's out here going for Hamzat. He's going to go take... If he takes out Hamzat, he's got the title shot. If Hamzat wins, I don't think he will, but if he does... It's a different story. Then we're like, okay, well, Hamzat hasn't done anything in this division. maybe he does need to go get another win or two. But you can't just sit out waiting for it. I don't think you will get it as well. You know, we already see, Dana's already said. Oh, where am I? Dana's already said.
Drickus do.
Dana's already said that Drickus, he wants to do Drickus in South Africa. Do you really want to wait until? Do you really just want to sit out and wait for the South Africa fight? That's not going to be until next year. At least I don't think it will. I don't think they're going to South Africa this year. It'll be next year they'll be going to South Africa. Whittaker's getting his third fight this year in October. If he wins that, he's beating Costa, Alaskarov, and Hamza. I know Alaskarov, he got gifted that fight because he's Dagestani, so he gets whatever he wants. But knocked him out in the first round, beat Costa, and if he beats Hamza, there's no argument. He gets the title shot. While you're just sitting out here doing nothing. Like, pull your head in, is all I'm going to say. And I love you, Strickland, but you can't just sit out. You're not going to get the title shot. You won't. And I want to see you at the top. I want to see you as a champion. I do. But that's just not what's going to happen if you just decide to sit out. You need to go get a couple more fights. You need to win a few more. And then we can talk about the title shot. Not a few more. Maybe just one more. Maybe one more. Maybe, I don't know, something like a Vittori, or maybe a, you know, a Bahalio or something. There go me dogs. Maybe a Carl Bahalio. He's just won recently. Maybe someone in the top 5, you know what I mean? And we can talk about it. Obviously, easy rematch don't make sense, but someone in the top 5, maybe top 6, top 7, and then we can talk about this title fight. You only really need 1 or 2 more wins, and then you're at the top again. And really, stylistically, you match up well against pretty much everyone at middleweight, besides Drickus and Whittaker, in my opinion. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I've really got today. I just wanted to give a word of advice to Sean Strickland, tell him, you know, we're not sitting out. We're going and getting it. We're going to get we're going to get our title shot. We're going to earn it, because in this sport you've got to earn it. Unless you're Dagestani, then you get whatever you want. But you're not Dagestani. You fucking make the UFC shit themselves when you pick up a microphone. So let's just go. Let's go win it. Let's go win a few fights. Let's get you a title shot. Let's not sit out after winning one fight and expect one. We're not entitled here. We're going out there and we're going to earn it. As simple as that. But that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought it was a lot of fun to make. And yeah, like the video if you wanna. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you don't like the video, tell me how I should end my life, and how I fluked losing my virginity. And yeah, that's about it. See you later.